Hey, welcome to today's show, and my name is Joshua Brown, Certified Financial Planner, Chartered Life Underwriter, and Certified Executor Advisor. And today we are going to be talking about a very interesting subject, which is gold and silver. And today gold is up over 1% and silver is up 3.8% today. So we're going to talk about gold, silver versus burying cash. So I didn't bring $5,000 or $10,000 in cash to illustrate what it would be like to bury cash. So the reason this has come up is some of the time that I spend is heading out into local businesses, meeting new owners, existing owners, sometimes new and existing at the same time if there's a buy and sell happening. So I went into one of these businesses, someone I've met before, someone who will never be a client, and they said to me, Josh, I'm burying my cash and I'm smarter than you when I mentioned that maybe they should think about burying gold instead. So, first of all, I wouldn't recommend you bury money or gold. There's a reason that these things are kept in a safe location. If someone knows you have $10,000 or $20,000 worth of gold in your home or buried, they may take that from you, or maybe not the honest person you know, but the third cousin of that person that hears about the guy who has 50,000 in gold bars in his safe, and that was 5 years ago, before the price skyrocketed. So we're going to touch on that, your personal safety. You do not want to get robbed. I think we just heard the snow plow go by there, so we're very much doing a recording during a snowstorm. So why would you not bury cash? Let's go back 10 years ago to when I picked up 1 gram of gold and 1 gram of silver. When my son was born, I wanted to teach my future children what these assets are. Okay, so in 10 years, these two assets have skyrocketed. We're just going to cover off what's happened in the last year because it's such a big number. And if you had have buried your money, $100,000, for example, that $100,000 would be worth approximately 28.5% less than it is today. So you would need $128,000 to have the equivalent of $100,000. So that's a real problem if you're going to bury something. Now, the reason this is happening, the reason we're talking about this, is the individual made the comment, I'm smarter than you, I'm going to bury my cash. And I think the intent was to use an advisor as a punching bag. And that's very common over the years. Advisors can be in a situation where they're being subjected to comments like this in a punching bag. So what I'm going to do is we're going to prove that individual wrong. And I'm also going to share this insight with maybe other people who may be thinking the same thing. And I did have more than one person come into my office recently and talk about buying pure gold or silver and hiding it somewhere. So here's the stats. Okay, this 1 ounce of gold has gone up $42.67 in 1 day. Cash has been depreciated in a single day. Today, this ounce of gold is worth $3,772 in Canadian funds, up about $1,000 from 1 year ago today. Okay, the silver is up 3.8% today alone, and that translates to this is 1 gram, $1.50 per gram of silver. This 1 gram of silver, which is very, very small, is actually worth $121.27 today. I believe I paid approximately $20 for this, just 1 gram, to show kids and the community what is gold and how small is, something that is worth so much. So to give you perspective as well, this is worth $45 per ounce. There's 10 ounces here. So this gold or silver bar today is worth approximately $450. I purchased this for about $190 about 4.5 years ago. And this ounce of gold, so 450 versus $3,772. So huge difference. This is quite heavy. This is 20 times the weight of this. Inflation is a very integral part of our economy, and inflation is controlled and required in order for balance to be achieved. So interest rates, inflation, the prices of what we're paying for things, and deflation are very much interconnected, and something that is very hard to disintegrate. For example, I met one of the smartest men in the planet. His name is Wayne Conrad. Wayne Conrad, one of the most famous Canadian inventors, has just released a new light bulb. The light bulb requires you to not replace the full light bulb, but just a little LED strip inside of the light bulb. The name of Wayne's company is called Omicron, and you can Google Omicron Wayne Conrad Canadian inventor, and I think you will be amazed. Now, I personally met Wayne Conrad, and I personally heard this story with my own ears from Wayne Conrad's mouth. Wayne has technology, solar panels, and car batteries that he is unable to release to the world market because by eliminating oil and gas overnight would completely ruin the global economy and plunge the entire planet into poverty. Now, he didn't go on in detail about how the effects. He, this many years ago, made a statement along the lines of that the common man has no idea how the release of that sort of technology would affect the entire world negatively. What he's meaning by that is that we very much have built in some constraints and controls into our economy, which allows things to smoothly keep going. So you don't want to be scared to death and burying all of your money thinking that the world is going to end. Okay? It very likely is not going to end tomorrow. So what I would recommend you do is, if you're thinking about buying and holding pure gold and silver bars, we have some alternatives to storing this stuff around. I don't keep this in a place where people know where it is, and I'm not going to tell you where I keep these for safety reasons. And you're not going to want to have $50,000 or $100,000 stashed in your house in case there's a break-in or something like that. It's going to be very hard to deal with, like someone stealing a gold bar like this. This is very hard to trace, such as someone trying to steal a bank account or something from a large institution. It's very, 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 very unlikely, and there's no, Home Alone break-in crew that's going to come along and steal your investments from an institution. There's insurance, there's Assurus and CDIC deposit insurance. We don't have insurance in our house unless we're adding it on. And then again, that's going to be a claim against you. So we have alternatives in our office to buying pure gold and silver. I would recommend, if you're interested or you're scared, we have all kinds of solutions that can protect your capital. We have all kinds of solutions that can protect your capital without having them buried under 3 feet of snow or stolen, or heaven forbid you bury your money and you die and nobody knows where your stuff is. People get into these messes, and I'm not saying that it's crazy to think that you're so scared of the economy and out there that you should bury money and bury gold. No, that's a natural way of feeling. It's a natural fear. And there's a bigger discussion around that as far as the bigger picture of what we want to do with that particular piece of money. So I'd be happy to help you in our office. My name is Joshua Brown, Certified Financial Planner. Should I bury it or should I buy gold? I hope you walked away saying, I will never bury $100,000. And buying $100,000 in gold 10 years ago, you'd have at least $200,000 today. And if you had it in another investment, something like in our office, you wouldn't have to store this real gold, and your rate of return would be very comparable to holding the hard. The other thing I'll just throw in there is to buy and sell gold and silver. It's a pretty high fee to buy it, and then a pretty high fee to sell it. So it's, I believe, around 10% to buy and around 10% to sell. So it's not the most liquid asset either. I'm not even entirely sure, other than mailing it back to Toronto where I bought this from, how I would liquidate this very quickly. So luckily this is for my children, and this is not an investment. These are to teach people. Maybe it should have been a tax deduction. I'm not sure. Maybe a comment or an accountant can comment on that one. Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Have a happy holidays.